Hello guys, this is Matrix Ray, and I'm showing you some resolution comparisons between native 1440p versus native PS2. I will also be doing some frame rate testing and show you guys the best settings for TAC, the Great Juju challenge. We are using large frame buffer, a custom resolution of 2560 by 1440p, native, 16 times the anisotropic filtering, mip mapping is on automatic, full direct 3D recommended is on, and we are using 16 times MSAA. With 16 times MSAA at 1440p costs around 1.4 to 1.5 gigabytes of video RAM, so that's pretty good. We are using texture filtering of display and FXAA shader is on. I am using bilinear forced. Unfortunately, with all the TAC games, you have to have it on bilinear forced, so unfortunately a lot of the 3D environment, outlines of the 3D environment remain very sharp and pixelated, blocky in this case. It's very distracting, even at 1440p. At lower resolutions it's even worse. And also I'm using Direct 3D 11 hardware. One last thing is for 2D sprite HUD elements do remain blocky as well, every single bit of it. So you have to have it on forced, unless if you like the blocky HUDs. But forced is definitely recommended. I am using MTVU, and with this hack it speeds up your game. If you have more than 3 cores, I have 6 cores, you can have this on. With this hack on, I had a pretty consistent 30 frames per second. Yes, the game targets 30 frames per second. I haven't played this game much without the hack, but I'm pretty sure the game would run really well anyway. It is really well optimized on the PCSX2, but turn it on if you have 3 or more cores. Now, let's go check the dimensions. Now, the original game runs at, the PS2 internal resolution runs at 512 by 448. Now, as I said, this game does run at 30 frames per second, so now if you see my frame counter on the top left, it says 60. If you see that drop, that means that I lost some game speed and some frames per second. But as you see, this game looks extremely blurry at native PS2. If you look at the 3D HUDs, as you see my cursor is over them, it's really hard to see the detail. Oh, you can't really see it much because of my cam. But yes, the 3D HUDs are very hard to tell in this native resolution. But if I go to native 1440p, as you see, the 2D HUDs look really, really nice at 1440p. Now, surprisingly, since this is a PS2 game, these HUDs right here surprisingly upscale really, really well for a PS2 game. Because if you look at these HUDs right here, the text HUD there and the button HUDs here, they didn't upscale too terribly well. And also the 2D element sprites right here, the decoration there didn't upscale really well. But other than that, it looks really, really beautiful seeing these HUDs at really high resolutions at 1440p. And this is what the game looks like. Besides the HUD, you can see the background has aged poorly, because you're supposed to only see that background at this resolution, and if you view that background in this resolution, you can't really tell much of a difference. Here's a side-by-side comparison: 1440p, native PS2, and native 1440p again. Now the feather details are a lot more visible, the torches are a lot more visible. Now you see TAC and Lock's eyes. If you go to native PS2, the eyes are basically all washed out and you can't see anything. But if you go back to native 1440p, the hair detail is back, and you can see Lock's and TAC's eyes are a lot more clearer. Now I am only in the hub area. As I said, from experience, the game does run really well at 30 frames per second, so that's good. You won't have too much of a problem. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. See you later.